Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. Seriously, it means a lot to me. These YouTube videos are really extremely important to me, and you guys are also as important as to me than all the clicks and likes. I want to thank you guys for everything and the love and support. It means a lot to me, and your feedback also means a lot to me too. I never leave anyone on delivered when I see comments. So if you want to comment, please do, don't hesitate. I'll always be willing to hear your feedback and suggestions. Thanks a lot. We reached 31 subscribers, guys. We're doing amazing. Thank you guys for all the love and support. And with that in mind, let's get back to the video. I'd like to address the title of the video first. When am I ready for a relationship? Now, you should ask yourself a lot of things, but I'm going to address the main points that really make sense to me about going even beforehand and even while you're in a relationship, in fact. But the number one and truly a thing that you need to know is that you need to love yourself first. Now, if you're young, really like me, I'm like in my 20s, you should not place relationships like they're the center of your attention, focus, and energy, mostly. I found an article post on the PsyPost website that was written by Karina Petrova, which conducted a study in Germany, which is in the link in the description. It was tested by a popular belief that you must love yourself to love a partner. It said in the study that true self-love is a healthy psychological state that is entirely distinct from narcissism. It is an act as a protective buffer that helps prevent mental illness and increases overall life satisfaction. Recent psychological models divide self-love into three main parts: self-contact, self-acceptance, and self-care. Now, the ones which I want to make more emphasis later on is self-acceptance and self-care. I also put up on the screen another important screenshot about self-contract, self-acceptance, and self-care for you to pause the video and read. Now, I want us to particularly look at the screenshot and at the part that says about self-acceptance and self-care. The second part is self-acceptance, of course, after self-contract. And this trait to me is important because it requires a person to embrace themselves exactly as they are. And it involves welcoming all emotions, even the negative ones, like it says there, and forgiving oneself for personal flaws. And as we read at the final part, it is self-care. This focuses on the outward actions of yourself. It really involves treating oneself well and actively shaping one's life to foster happiness, like it suggests there as it's written. Doing things that really bring joy and finding ways to heal during times of suffering fall under this category too. Now, to ask myself, why did I mention this article and why is it important in this video? Because in this said article that I'm mentioning, they gathered 460 adults that wanted to volunteer for a detailed questionnaire online, and the groups were 125 men and 335 women, being the majority. They all were aged around 27 even, so they were quite older than me, and their relationship lengths for the group was roughly 5 years written in the study. So basically around all the people that were gathered, they have a rough estimate of 5 years of relationship lengths, meaning they have some past experiences in previous relationships. However, an important part of the research was said that they found out that self-care and self-acceptance scored substantially high. As the study suggested, people who actively treat themselves well and accepted their own flaws tended to report stronger romantical connections. And it's important to mention that these two traits seem to provide more of a solid foundation than having self-contract for building closeness with another person. Lastly, the results and discussion of the study said that it remains possible that being in a loving relationship actually causes people to practice better self-care. The reverse could also be true, or a third unmeasured factor might be influencing both traits. But I want to mention one thing, regardless of which comes first, really, the message remains clear, and that is that building a healthy relationship with yourself is the way to go, and accept who you are before you enter one. Caring for your well-being and developing the personal traits is generally the best thing to do before you enter one. And number 2 is hobbies. Now, what does that tell you? It quite tells you a lot when you hear the word hobbies, when you hear it. And in my opinion, which worked for me to achieve this, is to simply find hobbies and try new things, like going out more, trying or developing a game, read or do anything just to get you out of your comfort zone and being lazy. Do not be so fixated on the fact that you need to find a partner fast. Always remember that you should not be seeking validation and approval of a future partner to make you love yourself. So first, love yourself, like I mentioned in number 1, by doing a lot of things, and keep yourself occupied with doing things that you love instead of always sitting down and doing nothing, meaning self-care. That never helps anyone, and I don't mean that you should always be stressing yourself to overwork yourself too. Taking days off for yourself too from such hobbies is always a great thing to consider, because life is about balancing everything and not doing everything all at once. Remember, you're not a robot. And furthermore, I mentioned hobbies. Another study written on the website called willingness.com, link is also in the description, suggests that having a hobby in a relationship, which is for audience that are already in one for this part, as presented in the following screenshots, I am addressing the following points. It helps with the strengthening emotional bonds, reduce stress together, improve physical health, encourages teamwork and problem solving, and creates lifelong memories. And all of these parts go both ways. 1, in having hobbies by yourself to do, and 2, you can have hobbies with your partner to make relationships more dynamic and gain closure with one another. Lastly, about the section of hobbies, it states that in the conclusion section of that website, it states, shared hobbies offer more than just a fun way to pass the time, which implies that finding things to do with your partner in a relationship can make it more fun by both partners to do hobbies together. And to top it all off, I would like to mention number 3. This one has to be the most important one to me, and it could be not as important to you, but I'll still mention it because to me it sounds like it makes sense, and it is being happy with being single. Now, this is one of the most crucial things any person needs to have, because you are growing not to become dependent on someone to make you happy, but rather accept that you being alone should make you happy first, right? And you might say, what do you mean by being happy with being single? You mean like being single as a whole and just accept that I'm going to be single for the rest of my life? No, I'm not saying that you should not be in a relationship, but I'm saying that you need to quit on being dependent on others to make you happy. Want to achieve happiness with your own company by fulfilling it with hobbies, like I mentioned earlier, and don't feel like you need a partner to feel complete with yourself. That is already a very good sign, in my opinion. In fact, having independence in a relationship is very important to have. Not just for days, weeks, or months only to have time for yourself, but this is going to help you rediscover yourself mainly, your interests, your passions, and maybe help you build on what you have already going on. But remember, everyone that has a healthy relationship should add to your happiness and not be the only source of it. Your happiness is not going to be the source of the relationship, but it's going to be adding on to it. That's very crucial. Some inspirations for all of the 3 points that I've mentioned in the video are mentioned from the hierarchy of need triangle. I will put it here for you guys to see. Now I would like to end this video off with the 3 points as a whole. The last one is controversial in my opinion, but I hope it maybe you learn something new with it, because the last one was basically from my point of view, and I think you should probably take into consideration about it, but if you don't, feel free to not. Of course, there's more I could have mentioned, but if I were to continue the video, it would have been a lot longer. Of course, there are a lot of other factors like willing to compromise, or even knowing how to communicate openly and honestly. But with all sincerity, I hope this video helped you in some type of way. I try to go straight to the main points of what you needed to hear according to my research and according to my belief and what's important to me, as I mentioned in the last 3 points. With that said, thank you guys for watching, and of course feel free to share more in the comments below. I will be looking into all of them because these topics is obviously viewed differently from one individual to another, and remember, this is my opinion on those points and what I had researched about. So feel free to disagree, and if you do disagree, please let me know in the comments below. Also, I would like to ask you guys one thing before I end this video. I'm thinking to try other games like Little Company, Undertale, or even more, but I need more suggestions, and if you guys want me to try something new, feel free to put it in the comments and I'll consider, because I don't want this to be like just a commentary YouTube channel and about Minecraft and about life, you know. Even though yes, I can make it all about that, but if you guys want me to try something new, please, as always, feel free to let me know in the comments below what game I should try next. I'm considering one of the new ones called the Deltarune, because chapter 5 just got released this year, so I want to try it out, maybe as a future video, but I'll leave it up to you guys.